The first top casualty of the police service in connection with a recent recruitment scam has been named. Commissioner of Police Patrick Timbila, who is Director General of the Human Resource Development of the Police Service, has been interdicted and placed under house arrest. The police say there is more to come.
When we are making investigations, we open ourselves to anything. You don't have to limit yourself. You understand? Yeah. We open ourselves to anything. People can even come in right now, even as I'm here, to come and give me fresh evidence. Everything is possible. Everything is possible, so we don't limit ourselves.
Following a series of revelations first disclosed here on Joy News, which pointed to the signature of COP Timbila on alleged fake enlistment letters issued to prospective applicants, the police service is going ahead with what appears to be a swift internal action. But are these actions enough and necessarily swift? Would you bank your hope on more such interdiction? This is today's big story with me, Stephen Enti. Today's big story is brought to you in association with Lifeline Properties, affordable, quality and comfortable housing. Now, just yesterday we spoke to a victim of a recent police scam who told us she paid 5,000 Ghana cedis into the bank account of one Aisha Asumba to aid her enlistment into the police service. In her interview, she expressly stated that about 10 more of her friends who were graduates paid as much as 8,000 cedis to this same Aisha Asumba, who claims she paid the money to COP Timbila. Let's do a snap recap of the interview we had with the victim here on today's big story yesterday.
Yes, she assured us that she's not fraudulent, it's not a scam. We should believe her. Even I met her sometime and she confirmed to me that we will still go. Upon all what is happening, she said we'll go, so we shouldn't worry and stay calm.
Did everybody pay 5,000?
Yes, some pay more, 8,000. The graduates.
Oh, I'm curious. So those who are graduates paid 8,000 in order to get enlistment into the police service.
Yes.
And all this went to that single person whose account you paid the money into.
Yes.
So have you heard from the other people?
Yeah. We met some like 3 days ago. And
so all of you are from Boko?
Some are from Tamale, Boliga, all the 3 northern regions.
So which part of Boko exactly? Boko Central, Boko East, Boko West,
Boko East.
Zabela, Bongo.
Yeah.
Where exactly?
Zabela.
So you have. So how many people in all do you know that paid this money to?
Yeah, my friends, they say we are about 10. They came and stayed in my small room in Accra here. And
most of them are graduates?
Yes.
And you are not? So they paid 8,000. How did they raise the money? How did you raise your 5,000?
Yeah, I work under company. I'm a designer.
So you work and you save money?
Yeah, I save money to open my own shop. So I use that money to...
But 2,000? Why would you pay to go into the police service? Didn't your uncle tell you that you don't need to pay in order to get into the police service?
No. He told me they were going to use that money to train us. There's no money in the country, so I believe it.
Well, we have in our possession pay-in slips of the bank account into which the sums of money were paid. And in addition, we also have the enlistment letters bearing the signatures of Commissioner of Police Patrick Timbila. We, however, cannot independently verify if these signatures are fake or indeed they're genuine. But the police service has gone ahead to interdict COP Timbila, who is just one step away from the rank of IGP. I spoke to DCOP David Ampabenin earlier today. He is the Director General of the Police Public Affairs Department.
The interdiction will enable the task force to have access to their officer, and then they'll be able to investigate it very well so that they come out with the final truth.
So interdiction means what? That he's in custody?
Yes.
He's not supposed to come to office. And he's under house arrest in his house so that the committee can have access to him anytime.
Exactly.
Why is he not in police cells? I mean, I'm curious because if, for example, if you...
Listen. This is a task force headed by a deputy commissioner of police, and they are investigating. You understand?
Yeah.
During investigations, they can decide. They know what will help them. You understand?
Yeah.
What will help them. So they have recommended.
So that's it. They did not recommend him to be in police cells or anything.
Yeah, when you arrest some people, even they can grant them bail.
Yeah.
Provided that they will not interfere with it. So there are so many things connected with investigations. So who is investigating, whoever is investigating, shall decide how
to go. So are you certain, or can you tell us that whether you know that there could be more officers implicated in this? I mean, this is a top police officer. As a commissioner, he's at the very top of the police rank.
When we are making investigations, we open ourselves to anything. You don't have to limit yourself. You understand? Yeah. We open ourselves to anything. People can even come in right now, even as I'm here. They come and give me fresh evidence. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. So we don't limit yourself.
So we have evidence. We have evidence that the fake letters which were issued to the people who were supposed to report to the police depots across the country for training had the signature of Patrick Tembela. Was this certified to be fake, or it is in connection with this that you are investigating to find whether that signature indeed is his signature? And what about the seal, the original seal of the police service which were captured in these letters?
No, let me tell you one thing. I don't know much, but what I can tell you is that it is not difficult to get a copy of the letter. For example,
if you come for example, I mean, we have a letter which says offer of enlistment into the Ghana Police Service. It has an original seal.
Somebody can remove all this and type another thing, and this will remain. I mean, you can scan it and
anything is very possible. But we also noticed that of the fake letters that were issued, the Director General was written as Director, which meant that there was something fishy about it.
Exactly.
So, but then if it's still fishy, why go ahead to interdict the head of the HR department?
They're investigating. If you have to start from somewhere, so it is up to him to prove
that it is him or it is not
him.
So
he has denied.
So from now, what happens next?
He will update you with whatever information the task force
comes up with. So are there timelines that you are hoping to get final?
From the way I manage the task force is working, I believe that it will not take long.
I mean, today is a holiday, so the task force could possibly be working on a holiday.
They are working around the clock. They are working. I had interaction with them before coming.
So you're confident that a week, 2, 3, they should be done with the investigations?
It could be possible.
So how is all this affecting the image of the police service?
No, this shows that, the rapt manner, the speed with which shows that we are up on top of our job. No, people even said that police, how can we investigate? But the top person, police ourselves, we have when the report came that he was involved, we didn't waste much time, just not quite 1 hour ago, and you're having this news.
So are you able to tell us what leads led to his interdiction? When I say leads, I know that I've showed you a copy of a letter which has what appears to be his signature. Are there other instances which you suspect that the Commissioner of Police Tembela might have been involved? That is not only one evidence the police used to interdict him.
I have not given you any evidence.
Well, I have evidence.
Yes, you have it. I have not given you. Since the end. And I don't have much evidence
to share.
What I know is that the Special Task Force, you see, from the evidence that we've gathered from the 5 people who have been arrested, seem to have mentioned his name. You understand? So we have to give him room to defend himself. So you also submit his statement.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah. So upon this, we will know the next step.
Okay.
And I believe that the task force will do a fair work.
So can you tell me what is happening now to the 2 junior officers who were arrested yesterday?
Oh, yeah. They will interrogate them.
Are they in cells?
Yeah. They will investigate them, take their statements, and if it's possible to be granted.
But they are in police custody.
I'm not certain.
But they were arrested.
But they were arrested, but I don't know
whether as of now they are in police custody or not. Because I'm asking that on the basis of the fact that if the junior officers were arrested, why is it that the senior officer is under house arrest and not in police cells, for example?
That's what I'm trying to. You are just going around. I told you that the investigators, they can recommend what to do. There are some people even they can refuse bail. You understand?
Yeah,
the prosecutor, you can refuse bail. So 2 people can commit an offense, they can grant 1 bail, depending on his involvement, they can refuse bail to the other. So the investigator, he has the decision,
the discretion
to
use any choice or any
which will help
principle
him,
or any style
which will help him in his investigation.
But are you also able to tell us how much evidence has been collected so far to implicate Timbila?
I'm not able. But
You're
I
not
know
able
that
to
the
tell us.
Investigators have done a good work.
But you know there is enough convincing evidence
all of us are
against him?
We are praying that at the end of the day...
It is not so.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it may not be so. So don't let us preempt.
I know you're very worried because he's a senior officer like yourself, and you feel that this casts a negative image on the senior officers in general.
It's not a pleasant job.
It's not. I can imagine. But how are the senior officers within the service handling this news? Can you tell me?
You can see that with the speed with which we all want to clear our names. So we will not hide anything from the press. We will not hide anything from the people.
You don't want people to stand back and say the police service is extremely corrupt and is protecting its own people.
We will not do that.
There have also been people saying that the police will hide behind these two junior officers who were picked up yesterday to shield other senior officers who are involved.
So the answer, is it true now?
So is there only one senior officer you could pick? Is he not just being picked as a scapegoat?
You know any other person?
No,
that is the investigators that brought up this name. So we can't force them. The names are too few. Add more. Is it done?
Yeah, no. We can't suggest that.
You can't suggest that. They have come up with the name. It's up to the people whose names have come up to mention other people who they think that were also equally involved.
So where is...
so as and when new things come, we will not hesitate.
So where is Commissioner Timbila now? In his house? At his barracks? Or at his private residence?
Police officers, they don't stay in barracks. They stay in a residence, maybe a government bungalow or something.
Okay. All right, DCOP and Papani, we are grateful for your time and thanks very much. Well, so that was an interview I had with DCOP David Ampabenin, who is the Director General of the Police Public Affairs Department earlier. Now, let's get on to the telephone lines now and do some analysis. Dr. Kwesi Enning is a security analyst who has been very consistent with helping us find answers to these issues. He's joining us now on phone. Good evening, sir. Right, Dr. Kwesi Enning is, I think we lost him on the telephone. We'll be trying to bring him back. But I must tell you that we paid a visit to the residence of Commissioner of Police Patrick Timbila, who is expected to be under house arrest. The information we picked from the police hierarchy was that security at his house was heavy. There was heavy police presence to enforce his house arrest. But indeed, we didn't get we didn't get evidence of heavy security presence, except for one police officer who was standing at the entrance of the house to Timbila's residence. So Timbila is under house arrest currently, and the police say that he has been interdicted. Now, earlier, Joy News, through our investigations, disclosed yesterday, that a couple of letters which were issued to applicants of prospective applicants to the police training college bore the original seal of the police service and had a signature, what appeared to be the signature of COP Timbila. What we cannot say is to independently verify whether these signatures are original or they're fake, and whether indeed they are in connection with the ongoing investigations into the scam at the police service. Let's see whether we have Dr. Kwesi Enning now on the telephone. We're expecting Dr. Kwesi Enning to join us on the line. My name is Stephen Anti, and this is today's big story. We'll be right back. Welcome back to today's big story. Today's big story is brought to you in association with Lifeline Properties, affordable, quality and comfortable housing. We're trying to raise onto the telephone Dr. Kwesi Enning. We will also get another security expert to join us. But now we have on the phone Dr. Ransford Jampo, who is Senior Research Fellow at the Institute of Economic Affairs, whose latest socioeconomic survey puts the police service as the most corrupt state institution in Ghana. Dr. Jampo, good evening, sir. Good evening, Dr. Jampo. Right, I think that we're having we're having challenges with our telephone lines. We're trying to raise onto the telephone Dr. Ransford Jampo, who is with the Institute of Economic Affairs. A couple of days back, I beg your pardon, the IEA released its socio-economic survey, which put the Ghana Police Service as the topmost corrupt institution, state institution in Ghana. We're trying to go back to him and ask whether these incidents, these things that are happening within the police service point to this perception of corruption. Dr. Jampo is on the line now. Dr. Jampo, good evening, sir. Good evening, Dr. Jampo.
Good evening.
Now, the fingering of such a top police officer makes it all...
May I know who I'm talking to, please?
Sorry, my name is Stephen Enti, and you are on
Steve.
today's...
Okay.
You're on today's big story. You're live.
Yeah, okay.
Right. I'm saying that the fingering of such a top police officer makes it all clear that corruption is ingrained in the service. Your quick comments on the development so far.
Oh, well, I think just about last week we released a socio-economic and governance survey result.
That's right.
And then because the perception or the people we sampled felt that this was the situation in the service. And so I'm not quite surprised about what we've seen now. But we're hoping that as people are aware and as some of these things are happening, the high echelons within the service will set up and take proactive measures to help in redeeming the image of the service, because I mean it's not the best.
It's not the best.
I mean, just as this happened, this survey results was issued last week, had an instance. I mean, of course, we haven't had the police themselves coming out quite strongly to protest the findings. Apart from one of them in Ashanti region who said it was only one city that they were taken. But, I mean, obviously the monies involved in this one
That's right.
contradicts what he said, because it's not one city matter here.
Now, Dr. Jampo, the matter at stake now is that some individuals who were hoping or willing to enlist into the police service have had to pay like 5,000 and 8,000 Ghana cedis to some people. You know, yesterday we spoke to one of the victims who told us that she paid the money to one Aisha Asumba, who tells her that the money had been paid to DCOP Timbela. Would you say that the approach adopted so far by the police to look into the matter, that is setting up of an internal committee headed by the commandant of the police training school, is the most effective step towards addressing this mess?
Well, let that be a first step, and let's see how it goes. At least something is being done, and let the outcome of the investigations be made known to the public, and let if there are going to be sanctions, let it be known to the public. I'm sure within the service, they themselves have rules and regulations as to how to handle some of these matters when they crop up. So let them follow their own internal arrangements and rules, and let us all know what happens afterwards.
But Dr. Jampo, there have been people who have argued that the best way of effectively or fairly looking into this matter is to set up an independent investigative committee, which is independent of the police service. So would you say that with this, what appears to be a swift action, this argument is flawed, kind of?
Well, I'm saying that within the police service, I am sure they may have their own regulations as to how to handle matters like this. And so let those regulations be followed. If after that we are not satisfied as a people, we all know the pervasiveness of the perception of corruption within the service. And so if after their own investigations we are not satisfied, then we can look at the argument of independent committees or commissions being made to go into this, because this is quite a national problem. I mean, looking at the numbers involved and all that, I think it's quite a huge problem that we have to tackle as a nation. So let them follow their own internal rules, and let's see how if there is anybody culpable, let's see how he be dealt with. Then we can be in the right position to comment whether justice has been done or not.
Right. So beyond the internal investigations that the police has commenced, would you have advised anything else?
Let this one be completed first. And I'm saying that let's also keep informing the public as to what is going on what is happening, so that we all know. So it serves also as a deterrent to others who may want to repeat the same offense. Right. Oftentimes, we are not able to tackle some of these things because, well, it comes up strongly, and then within 1, 2, 3 days, it goes down, and nobody knows what is happening to it, and people do not develop the much will to prosecute or to push it. But it is important that we sustain discussions on some of these things, and to ensure that the public also gets to know
sufficient information about what's happening.
The processes that are ongoing and the sanctions that may be applied if anybody is found culpable.
Right. Dr. Jampo, we're grateful for your time on today's Big Story. Dr. Jampo is a senior research fellow at the Institute of Economic Affairs. Let's now go to the other telephone line. Security analyst Irbad Ibrahim is joining us now. Irbad, good evening.
Good evening, Stephen. Thanks for having me.
I know we have been back and forth to this issue. Things are happening. The most senior officer or ever cited in this scam is under house arrest and has been interdicted with immediate effect. So, with the history of the police interdiction in this country, do you think this is anything we should be excited about?
I think this is a novelty, and it's quite refreshing. I think the police service deserves some plaudits for this. You can see the swiftness with which this has been done. And therefore, you remember so when Obama came to this country, he said what Africa needed weren't strong men, but strong institutions. So therefore, I think for once, the checks and balances that needs to be, implemented by various arms of government seem to be grinding just well. The wheels of those checks and balances seem to be grinding so well. You know so well that there is some pressure from the Committee on Defense in Parliament. So the House of Legislature has given them the needed nudge. And the media, that serves as the fourth estate of the realm, is also playing its role by asking the needed questions and asking for transparency and asking for the rule of law to be upheld in this situation. But, the jury is already out there that the service is corrupt. So therefore, this will be a litmus test for us as a country to redeem not only the image of the service, but the image of the country as well. But, Steve, I think it's early days yet. I don't belong to the school of thought that an allegation necessarily will translate into prosecution.
That's right.
The man is still innocent until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. So therefore, we can't put his head on the chopping block now.
That's right.
Let's wait for the full complement of the investigation. But whatever happens at the end of the day is either the man gave himself up for corruption, or there could be a mafia within the service. Mind you, he's a COP, and when you look at the ranking and hierarchy of the Ghana Police Service, he's next only to the IGP.
That's right.
So we are talking about a potential IGP in the making that has got his name sullied in this scandal. So we wait to see. But if that is the case, and there is so much mistrust among the top, brass of our security agencies, and that will present us a serious national security loophole. And if that is the case, eventually, I believe so well that the president will have to come in, use his bullet pulpit, and clean up the system.
That's right. But yesterday when we spoke to you, you mentioned, you said something which is critical. You said that there is the possibility that these junior officers who have been arrested, who were arrested, the police announced their arrest yesterday. You mentioned that their arrest might be just to shield other officers who might be involved in this. So the action now, as I spoke to DCOP Ampa Benin, suggested that they're not shielding their own. Are you content that the action is a good first step?
Yeah, it was. They needed to show that they had the test of character to be able to deal with the situation. And those, initial sweeps happen everywhere. In the United States, when there are issues like this, a few people are arrested. Even though I'm not too comfortable with the use of the expression house arrest. And the definition is quite clear that they are going to restrict his movement. Whatever call he makes now will be tapped into. You know, ours is a fledgling nascent democracy, and the international community is critically watching what is happening.
That's right.
So therefore, we shouldn't lose sight of the sense that define us as a people, our respect for the liberties and freedoms of people.
That's right.
Let's wait until the man is proven guilty. If not, he should be a free man.
He should be a free man. Right, Irbad, we're grateful for your time on today's big story. Irbad is a security analyst. He has been very consistent in this analysis. So if you just joined us on today's big story, the big story today is that the police service has interdicted one of its top senior officers, the Commissioner of Police, Patrick Timbila, who is the head of the human resource development of the Ghana Police Service. We have been speaking to security experts and Dr. Ransford Jampo, who is with the IEA, whose recent socioeconomic survey indicted the police as the most corrupt institution, state institution in Ghana. My name is Stephen Anti. We'll be right back with the Joy News Interactive. Do stay.